Hey guys, welcome to Living in South Florida Does Not Suck. This is Andrew Burr from the Andrew Burr Group at the Kai's Company. We can't wait to get started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newest edition of Living in South Florida Does Not Suck. Today, my guest is Andrew Fishman from Capital Partners Mortgage. He's one of our lender partners. As you guys know, I've moved the team over to Kai's Realty, and Andrew is our preferred lender partner, I guess would be the right word to use. So let's talk to Andrew a little bit about why living in South Florida does not suck, because that's why we're here. So I guess, basically I ask people, where did you come from? Because most of us didn't come from South Florida. And how'd you get here? And that's how we'll start out.
Well, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
I am originally from New York. I grew up there and moved down here in summer of 1997.
City boy or country boy?
Right outside the city, probably about 30 minutes north, near Westchester County, called Rockland County, so not too far off.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
And pretty much what brought me down here is like what most people are, the weather, beautiful weather. I got tired of the cold weather up there. I just, once the fall hit, and you had the beautiful leaves falling down, I got depressed. I was like, because I knew what was coming. The snow and the grayness, the dreary, part of obviously winter. Mm-hmm. So I like being outdoors and enjoying the nice weather, and so that's kind of what brought me down here. Really.
Yeah, that's that was like a side effect for the second time, maybe a third time we came down. So we were up in D.C., my wife and I, and my daughter had just been born. But yeah, winter is coming. That's from some, I don't remember what it is.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. There you go. But it was just, it got to that point where, all right, we got a little bit of snow, but then we started getting the slush and the sleet, and then you had the grayness, and I never realized how much it affected my mood or my wife's mood until we came back down here. And it's like, oh, we're not all grumpy and pissed off all winter long, because literally that gray, I don't know, it just does something to your psyche, and the fact that you mentioned the grayness and just that part of the whole winter cycle, that is a huge thing that's different down here because, we're mostly sunny all the time, and if it rains, sometimes it's pouring down rain and it's still sunny, and then if it is going to just rain, it rains and then it's gone and it moves on and we get back to beautiful South Florida sunshine. So that's a great point. Mm-hmm. Now Westchester County, that's for New York, it's barely country. That's, it's like pretty rural. So what did you do? What do you do? What was when you first came down here, what were like the top three things that you did like all the time when you first got down there? Because you probably don't do them now, but what were they?
It's very true. Single to now being married with kids, it's a different lifestyle. Most of the time, again, like I said, the weather brought me down here, but two of my closest friends moved down here before I did, and they would constantly be reaching out to me to come down. You got to come down. So when I came down to visit, we would go to shooters on the water, and they would. We'd just be having a good time watching boats and drinking, and it was just really, it was just a different world. So when I came down here and moved down, that's pretty much what we did. We would go out boating or go out to the beach, just stuff that we don't really do much now because we take it for granted.
All right, yeah, but no, and that's exactly what we all did. And the first time my wife and I were down there, we didn't have kids and stuff. I don't think we were married yet. And that's basically, look, we would sit there, and we didn't have enough money to go to the bar half the time, but we would go sit, underneath the bridge in Lake Worth on the intercoastal. There was a cool little area there. A lot of people used to hang out and stuff, and just watch the world go by because it wasn't really the beach, which I've always lived at the beach. I've never liked the beach. Like I don't like the sand and the whole thing. I do love the ocean, but it was just. The first time you get down here, it's like going to a different country. It smells different. It looks different. It is, completely. But yeah. So, anyways, it is like coming to a different country, and it does. It feels different. Like the air feels different because it's a little more humid. Like when you're coming from up north, it is just like a total immersive experience the first time you get down here, and it's crazy, man. In the first couple of years, everybody else kind of feels like they're on vacation. And then it turns out that you actually have to, work and
get a job,
do something. Do something to maintain the lifestyle down here. So, But yeah, that's and Shooters is a really cool place. We actually we were what the hell is a place down? It's actually Key Limehouse. It wasn't the Key Limehouse then, I don't think, or maybe it was. I really can't remember a lot of stuff from that era. But Key Limehouse is still one of our sort of favorite places to do that sort of thing. Just watch the boats go by and have a couple beers or whatever, and some good grouper fingers, something like that. So now let's see. You live in Boynton now, right?
I do. Yes.
You live in East Boynton or West Boynton?
I'm West Boynton.
West Boynton. All right. So that was not even there when I first moved down there. 97, I guess it was probably starting to get built up or whatever. But there was no West Boynton. There were still the Motorola factory was still out there. There were still cows on Military Trail. There were big cow pastures all around. Do you mind telling me what neighborhood you live in? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I live in Canyon Trails, which is
very nice.
Geo-home community, and there's about 2,000 homes within the
it's beautiful homes there. When that came out, that was like one of the first fancy sort of neighborhoods that they were doing out there. They had a couple. Now they're everywhere. I mean, and then there's a couple different Canyon neighborhoods, I believe.
Yes, there are 3 other subdivisions besides mine.
Yeah. So, but anyways, yeah, West Boynton's cool. And so, like many of the people I have in here from Wellington, we are ages away from the beach, right? Compared to, if you're not from South Florida, you think, oh, the beach is 10 miles or whatever it is, and like, holy crap, we live at the beach. And here it's like, man, we live a long way from the beach. So it is kind of a funky dichotomy there. So instead of going boating and going to the beach all the time now, since you have kids and you're married with children, how old are your kids?
My daughter is 15. My son is 10.
Okay, cool. So what are the activities now?
Mostly active. I mean, now it's gotten a little bit less, but we kind of, because we have a boy and a girl, so my wife and I have to like split up sometimes. But because my daughter's mainly in dance, which she does in Lake Worth 4 days a week. She goes to high school. It's a performing arts school. Okay. My son was on a travel baseball team, so we were basically at a baseball field 4 days a week.
God, this travel baseball, man, it's like a lot of people down there do that. I'm just glad. I have one daughter, and I'm glad she didn't like baseball, because that travel baseball, man, it seems like a grueling schedule, man.
It is grueling, yes. I mean, out in the sun, most of the time, which is nice, but we have to have the tents put up, and if you don't have a breeze, but it's still beautiful to be out there and watch the kids play ball.
Yeah.
But it's 3 days a week, and then on the weekends, it's typically sometimes it's 4 or 5 hours on a Sunday.
Yeah, because they're playing like multiple games on the weekend and stuff like that. Yeah. Tiffany, who's a regular here, she actually runs this whole joint, The Hive. She does that, and has for years. And when I talked to her about, well, we're going to be in here and here and then there, and then, I'm like, man, she's full-time professional, full-time. It's crazy, man. That's a lot of time, but it is an awesome place to do it. And down here, the kids, they play ball year round, more or less. It's not a seasonal thing. Our good friend Jennifer and Anthony Moore are good friends up in Ohio. Their son's very into baseball, and he would play baseball all year, but they only have really kind of a fairly short season where they're in Columbus, Ohio. He plays hockey in the winter, because that's what you do when you're from
up north,
colder climate. Yeah. But it was funny because they were doing the tryouts, and they were jumping right into and it was like everything was. I'm like, why does that seem so frenetic? And it's because they have to. They only have a certain amount of time to do it. Whereas here, we have it year round, and But that being said, you don't get a real big break from it. So that's
you don't. With that, you're right. It is all year round. They maybe give you a couple, like 2-3 weeks off during the summer. My son is kind of transitioning out of it only because he's been doing it for 3 years, and he's 10. And it's a lot. It's a big commitment. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So he's playing soccer now, and he loves it. And it's, right now it's not a travel situation. It's more of a rec situation. But
there's nothing wrong with that, man.
No, 2 days a week in practice, 1 hour, and then game on a Saturday, and there's seasons, and you have like a spring season and a fall season. That's how they do it.
Yeah, and they got so much. Soccer, everything out here as far as sports go. We got so many big things being built out here. A lot of it's here in the Central County area, but I know they got some stuff going a little further south, and they got the big David Beckham deal out out west, the Loxahatchee deal. I haven't really caught up on that recently, but that's going to be huge. Then we've got the John Bostic Center that's going to be out here in Wellington. So yeah, there's all kind of even more sports developmental stuff going on to make it more of a, rather than just the kids and stuff like that, it's becoming a very professionally oriented, operation. Particularly when they built the new ball field out in West Palm, and then they brought in National League baseball so much more heavily, to the area than it ever was. So yeah, it's pretty interesting on that note, and I guess it's good for kids like yours that, let's say they takes a little bit of a break until he gets a little older and then is ready to rear up again. I mean, it's awesome that he can go watch pro ball games, preseason and stuff like that right here. They have programs that they can be involved in, that the pro organizations run and stuff. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you have in West Palm, you got the Washington Nationals and Houston Astros for spring training, and you go, you have Jupiter for the Marlins, Cardinals, and then Port St. Lucie's Mets. I mean, it's plenty of baseball around, and then now they're doing, Lake Worth has a park where they created these 5-on-5 or 6-on-6 turf soccer fields where they're fenced in.
Really?
It's amazing. Yeah, there's tons of people that go there. And pickleballs now.
Which park is that? Well,
John Prince Park.
John Prince. Okay. John Prince. John Prince is the one over there. I got that confused with, was it Donald, the one that's out in where Hobe Sound, the big park, Dickerson maybe. All right. But anyway, yeah, there's tons, and pickleball, by the way, has been, and that comes up on this podcast every once in a while because it's just insane. Like, pickleball players are insane. It's like, I understand. I don't know. I don't actually understand. I mean, but all the tennis courts are being turned into pickleball courts. We go to Key West a lot, my wife and I, and we stay at the Cass Marina, and we get free rooms all the time. So often we'll be on the back of the hotel, and you basically overlook the dog park and a different beach. It doesn't really matter, but the tennis courts were right there. And for years and years and years, it was all tennis courts. But now it's pickleball, and they put like twice as many in though because the pickleball court's so small. Yeah. So that's what we kind of joke. We go, well, pickleball, it's tennis for lazy people. They don't want to have to run as far.
They don't have to run as much. Yep. But they do get a workout though. So
they do, and dude, those guys, the pickleballers are out there first thing in the morning, and they are out there, till like 2. It's like crazy. But hey, cool. Look, if that's what you enjoy, it's awesome. And we definitely have, if you're a pickleballer, we definitely have the opportunities for you right here in South Florida.
Absolutely.
So when you and the wife do get a rare occasion to do something or go out on your own and stuff like that, is there any particular go-to places or any particular things that you really enjoy?
Yeah, I mean, there's you go down to downtown Del Rey, which I think is beautiful over there. Tons of restaurants. You're close to the water. Outside of that, we go to Delray Marketplace, which is out west, close to us, kind of between Boca, Delray, Boynton. And there's, again, also outdoor shopping and restaurants.
Is that where the Warren is?
Yeah, it's close. It's adjacent to it.
Okay, it's on the other side of the street. We love the Warren, by the way. So if anybody has never been to the Warren or doesn't know what the Warren is, it's out off like Lyons Road. And what's across? Is it Atlantic?
Lions and Atlantic, yeah.
So Lions and Atlantic, but man, if you like bourbon or whiskey, any kind of whiskey, it is the place to go, and the food's pretty awesome too.
The menu's unbelievable.
The menu's unbelievable. Now, do bring your wallet with you because it's not cheap, but it's pretty awesome. As a matter of fact, that's where I got introduced to Elmer T. Lee, which is I'm a rum guy, right? So I'm predominantly a rum guy. But buddy of mine, Alex Cassis, is a huge, and he got us out there and stuff. And he's like, "Oh, you got to try the Elmer T. Lee." And so now, like, I'm not a whiskey guy at all, but if I go somewhere, my first question, "Did you get Elmer T. Lee?" Because it's just a buttery, wonderful little, right off the rock kind of.
And that's whiskey. A whiskey, huh?
It's a whiskey.
I like whiskey, but I never even heard of this.
So it's pretty, not rare. I don't know. You can't. It's very hard to find. I mean, you're not going to find it at Total Wine and stuff like that. No. I mean, it's a boutique-y whiskey, I guess. But it's excellent. And the Warren typically has it. There's a place downtown in West Palm that has it too, usually. It's like a little bistro joint. I can't remember what the hell the names of it.
Downtown West Palm?
Yeah, downtown West Palm. I don't think it's on. It might be on Clement. I think it's like Daytur or something, but it's right in that area. And it's called the barrel bourbon biscuit. I don't know, something like that.
And
My wife is the person. Like, so if you want to know what any of this shit is, and just say some mixed up garbage that I said, and she go, "Oh yeah, that place." You know, I was hoping the Bend would have it, honestly, but the Bend didn't. We go to the little grit place downstairs. I know it has grits somewhere in it, but that's the name. But it's at the Bend downtown. Really cool little bar, like indoor outdoor bar type deal. Anyways, that's enough name dropping. Nobody's at the hotel. Yeah, they have a place upstairs, and then they have the little place downstairs, which is like the loungy, more bar-y place.
I had my 50th birthday party at the upstairs where the pools are.
Oh, okay. Yeah, pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. Nice.
Well, I'll tell you this: downstairs at the grit place, whatever the grit thing is, they have this thing called hanging bacon, and just going there to get the hanging bacon is worth it. And basically, you go, and the server that we had there, she was awesome, man. She was, because we're like, she's like, "What do you want?" What do you tell us? You bring us out the best two like appetizer things. So the hanging bacon is literally, it looks like a little, somebody's laundry line, right. And it's got these clips on it, and there's this beautiful thick bacon hanging on it, and it's dripping onto this pile of cornbread, and it is just amazing. And they have pretty awesome cocktails there too. But so she's gonna put it up on the thing. It's the grit, whatever it is downstairs at the Bend. Awesome. So, and the Warren too. I mean, the Warren's great too. So, but none of them are paying me. So now we're going to move back on to the regular programming. So, anyways, I totally digress. So you go to the marketplace, downtown Delray. Downtown Delray is cool, but man, it gets busy down there. It
does, especially during season.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It's to me, it's kind of like, and people that watch this regularly know I'm a cranky old bastard, and I don't like people. Which is weird because I'm in real estate, but it's kind of like Sunfest, it's just gotten so big, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, you get to find the restaurants on the not right down the strip, like off the little strip. There's some places.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there's. I don't know. I'm not gonna try to remember the name of another place I won't remember, but there's another place that my wife really wants to go down at Delray that's not right there on the strip. It's got some little teeny room, probably has something to do with bourbon too, because she likes bourbon or whiskeys. But there's like a little room that's only open on the weekends. We'll reserve that one for another show. So now do you and your wife and the kids ever get to the beach at all anymore?
Ironically, we were on Mother's Day. We went with friends of ours to the Boca Beach Club.
Okay,
and
very nice.
We spent the day. We didn't have cabanas, but we had these they're like beds. So we rented the beds and stayed by the pool. The kids went to the beach, and it was overcast, but the weather was beautiful though. It wasn't hot. We had a nice breeze, and it was just relaxing. I mean, the kids play in the pool. They can go to the beach, and the service was good. So it's.
Yeah, that's the Boca version of going to the Breakers. Like a lot of people like to go to the Breakers.
That's exactly it.
Mother's Day is a huge, they have a buffet and all that kind of stuff, and same sort of deal. But yeah, no, I never get to the beach anymore here. Now we go down to Key Largo, have a house down there, and we don't really have many beaches. We actually have one of the nicest beaches there in my neighborhood because we replenishment. Matter of fact, I'm going to be down there next week, filling up with sand again. So. My neighborhood is mile marker 100, right behind Tower Pizza, for those of you that know the place well. But there's a private club called Buttonwood Sound Club that only people in my neighborhood are allowed to become members of. It's not a HOA, it's a separate club, but you have to be within Key Largo Park as defined by whatever to even be able to join it. But we replenish the sand every year because it gets washed out by, and there's really, in most of the keys, and there are some that don't. There are some different places that do actually have nice little sandy beaches, but for the most part, it's like coral. Like we're not huge sandy beach down there. Now the water's gorgeous, the water's beautiful, but the beaches are tough. But we have a nice one because we put the sand down. But even then, we'll go to our own beach if we have people down. If not, we hop on the boat usually and go out, and we just like to go out to the park, Everglades National Park, which is less than a mile straight out when we go out, and we'll just go find a place because you get that really beautiful Caribbean blue water.
Yeah, it's really
doesn't take too long to get out there. Like Buttonwood Sound, where I live, or where my house is down there, Buttonwood Sound is a very green water because it's full of life. I mean, there's seagrass and all, but that's awesome because we need that. But once we get into the park, there's some big sandy flats areas, and then also if you get a little bit south and a couple of bays north, you get the more blue water. But in Buttonwood, there's always dolphin and manatee. Like there's so much life, it's crazy. But we just like to find a little nook area and some small little sandy bay, and we'll just drop the anchor and hop out and float if we're in too deep water. Or, stand there and just hang out and enjoy the day. And sometimes depending on the season, we won't see somebody. We'll be out there for 3-4 hours. Won't see another person, another boat going by. It's awesome. But the water here now, when you were up there in New York, did you ever make treks to the Jersey Shore? I don't know how to say that, right. But that's where everybody went, right? Jersey Shore, right?
Yeah.
So did you do that often when you lived up there? Or?
We would go when I was a kid. My parents, it was our end of summer trip. We would go for a week down to Wildwood, New Jersey, Jersey Shore, and walk the boardwalk and play the games and go on the rides and spend every day at the beach.
Yeah, my parents actually used to live in Asbury, but that was before I was born, so they loved it. But so now that you live, let's say approximately 10 miles from the beach, so you went, and you said ironically you were there for Mother's Day. When's the last time before Mother's Day that you were at the beach?
It's funny you said it has been a while. I know you're getting it. It has been a while because it's knowing that it is so close that you can go anytime, because for the most part our weather is usually very nice.
Yeah, very clement.
So you could say, I can go. We'll go this weekend. Or I can go. We'll go next weekend. It's not like when you're up north where you have, even during the spring and summer, you have very limited days because there's days that'll rain. So you're like, you gotta, once it's beautiful, like you have to make an attempt to go out. Versus here, it's like today, it's beautiful out today. So like yesterday, it was beautiful out. So it's like you can go to the beach. Yeah, you could say, we can go tomorrow or the next day. So
yeah, I think that is definitely part of it. Is because just we're jaded by it. Maybe, I don't know. But then again, I mean, I do know some people that are there all the time. But to your point, I mean, you traveled a whole state to go to the beach then too, and now we're right there, and it just, I don't know, it's interesting to me.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well,
we usually like going to the Lake Worth. The beach on Lake Worth, which is really nice. Where Benny's on the beach.
Good Lord, that whole controversy. I don't know if you live anywhere around here, you know what happened there, man. They had a little issue with Lake Worth, and Lake Worth was going to boot them out. And boy, the public came in strong. And guess what? That municipality learned that you try to get rid of an institution around here, it's tough, man.
Yes. So
Benny's just re-signed a new long-term lease, and so Benny's on the beach is going to stay there. They're not going anywhere. But that's a cool beach, and that's a very popular one. A lot of people go there. A lot of younger people tend to go there too. Like
I do see a lot of younger kids. Yeah, my daughter goes. We'll drop her off with her friends, or she's had friends that had birthday parties on the beach, and that's usually the beach they go to.
Yeah, it's crazy. We started calling. I didn't start calling. So one of my friends started calling it the high school beach because all the high school kids from all the different schools, they just, for some reason, it's just a younger, funner, hipper, more relaxed. Yeah. Whereas most of the people that my age, my contemporaries, I'm not that old, but they like to go to like Palm Beach and go because it's stoic and quiet, and it's just kind of whatever, where the kids like to have fun.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Lake Worth Beach is awesome. There's the other one they go to is the little small one in Boynton that is like. There's a hole through the sea grapes to get to it. We used to go to it all the time when we first got down here too. It's a really cool little park. I can't remember the name of it. It's actually a park, but it has a little beach. Right. It's like off of near Woolbright or something like that. But anyways, another thing I can't remember the name of. Go figure. All right. So since we're getting close on time, is there any what is one thing that, like, if you're talking to your friends that are still up in New York, what is the one thing that you're like, hey, this is the reason you should come down here?
Oh, it's no state income tax, of course.
Well, I forgot about that. I wasn't even thinking about that. I wasn't thinking about no state income tax. I was thinking about all the other cool stuff. Well, there you go. That's pretty good.
I was teasing. No, that's not the reason.
It is a great reason, though. I mean, that's a huge reason, especially with what the state income tax is in New York. I mean,
absolutely. I mean, it's look, you in New York or up north, You know, they always talked about, oh, the food's so much better up there, but that's not the way it is anymore. The food is so good down here. I mean, you got the fresh fish. I mean, there's so much more down here because people have already come down here that it's not. Now you could do so much. There's great music down here. I mean, there's all the sports.
Yeah.
I mean, there really isn't one thing. I mean, outside of everybody, the obvious, which is the weather, the water, you know, if you love boating, but there's so many more things that you can do here now.
Absolutely. And that's another thing, like any of the outdoor stuff, golf, whatever it is, we do it year round. We don't, you know, but Charlie and I actually had that same conversation on our thing, that the food has just gotten so amazing over the last, say, 10 years or so. And a lot of these chefs, you know, the Michelin star guys, they're like, well, you know, I want to have a place in Florida. They want to move. They want to have a place down there. So like, well, the easiest way for them to do that is to, you know, usually partner with somebody and open something down here, or they just open their own thing. You know, Daniel Blue's a perfect example of, you know, somebody that's kind of brought the New York, you know, food scene down here because he wants to be down here. You know, Guy Fieri lives in Lake Worth now, you know, as much as he lives in California. I mean, so. But anyways, yeah. So all right. That's awesome. Well, and I think the tax thing definitely. I mean, I don't know how I forgot about that, but well, hey, listen. Guys, that's just another example of another person that you know thinks living in South Florida does not suck, and you know, and we can actually both help you get here. But we're going to do another section called Real Talk. If you want to know about actually buying real estate, getting a loan for it, you can check that out on the YouTube page. All you gotta do is Google "living in South Florida does not suck." There, hashtag it. And we'll see you on there. Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to Living in South Florida Does Not Suck. Please do subscribe with the notification bell on. If you liked today's guest, you can also get more information about them right here. Like magic, it will appear. Anyways, we love having you here. We love having your friends here. Shout it out from the rooftops. Like us on Facebook. Share it with your friends. We'll see you soon here in beautiful, sunny South Florida.